Welcome everybody, I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. Welcome to the show and thanks for tuning in. We are on each and every week and we bring to you, the public that's watching, the information that you're going to need. Look, this is a hot real estate market. You're going to have to know a lot of things when you buy and sell real estate. So we do that. We bring great guests on the show. We interview people. We have discussions about what affects real estate prices. And you know, here in the Valley, a lot of things affect real estate prices. We talk about employment, obviously. We talk about schools. We talk about education. We talk about location, location, location. As everybody knows, that's really, really important. But in the summer, one of the most important things about the city of Las Vegas is everything that surrounds it. This is a recreation town. Not only is it an entertainment and gambling town, but if you go to Lake Mead, if you go up into the mountains, if you hike or do some other things, mountain biking, there's a racetrack right down the road here off Las Vegas Boulevard. There's a lot of things to do. Matter of fact, recently there's been a triathlon out here, which I've done that triathlon several times, and there's thousands of people that come here to do it. It's a great event, and also one of the things that I think is undersold here in Las Vegas. When I talk to people about real estate, when I talk to people about buying and selling, when I talk to them about interest rates on their loan, I always bring up the fact that Las Vegas is more than just the Strip. There are many, many people who live here, work here, raise their children here, who never even go on the Strip. Now, obviously, that's the center of our economy. That's what drives jobs, and it's extremely important, obviously, to us here in the Valley that remains vibrant. But the other aspects of what we do here is extremely important. So if I'm selling a house, or if I'm going to represent somebody buying a house, what I normally tell them is all the other things that go on here in Las Vegas that can be attractive to a buyer and a seller. Let's go through some of the other things that are happening here in Las Vegas for our show today. Wanted to talk about, obviously, the real estate prices rising 13% this month versus a year ago. That's very high. We had earlier in the year about 16%. We're down to 13%, but still, it leads the nation in terms of appreciation in home values. What does this mean to the buyer? What does this mean to the seller? One of the reasons that the prices go up here, and I just wanted to let you know that 25% of the buyers currently are buying cash, so you know that the investment community is still believing in Las Vegas. A lot of buyers coming from California, they come here, they look at the prices and they go, oh my gosh, the prices are so cheap here. But if you live here and you want to buy here, you realize that that pressure from outside, that pressure from an outside unendable source of people coming here and buying is driving the prices up, that and the investors. So we have a $290,000 median home price here in Las Vegas, and we're 2, 3, 4 months away from an all-time high. Yes, all-time high, past the 2006 zone. So if you're one of these people out there who are thinking of buying, it's a better time now. We've got rising interest rates, obviously, everybody knows that. We might see 5.5%, 6% by the end of the year. 5.5%, 6% versus last year when we were at the high 3.5%, 4%. So you can see at a 2% rise, that's going to cost you another $200 per $100,000 bought on your interest rate. So if you go from 4 to 6%, 200 per 1% on $100,000 is going to cost you another $400 a month in terms of just affording the same house. Prices, as I said, have gone up and continue to go up. So if you're thinking of buying, now is the best time. And I'm not one of these people who are chicken little, the sky is going to fall. But believe me, these prices will not go down. We are going to see an up. And because of the pressure from places like California, from the construction industry, which brings us a lot of new people into the market. And by the way, it's very difficult to find good construction people right now because the demand on that profession is very, very high. Anyway, we have a terrific show for you today. Really appreciate you tuning in. I'm Jeff Barton, your host in the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and we'll be right back.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton, your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. Shoe Show. Thanks for tuning in, and I really appreciate it. We come each and every week to try to bring to you terrific guests, people who have knowledge in the industry that you may not be really aware of. And so as a result of that, we hope we bring to you value for watching the show each and every week. There's buyers, there's sellers, there's all kinds of ways to maximize value if you're selling your house, and also if you choose a different path to sell your house. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to bring on our guests right now. We're going to explain a little bit about what that is. Bryant Stringham and Jamie Stringham are two of these experts that are here today to talk to us about that. Hi, how are you?
Great, hello.
Well, you know what? I always get a little tongue-tied when I have new guests on the show because I don't want to get the names incorrect, and I obviously want, you've been gracious enough to come here today. Thanks very much. And Jamie, you're an educator. Jamie is a professor of interior design, business owner, and entrepreneur. She has a company called Interior Dynamics.
Correct.
It's a staging company, right, for houses?
It's an interior design firm.
I see.
Right.
And you also do
But
stage.
I also do staging as well, and I also have online courses for
staging, right?
Staging,
and that's
correct.
called, what is it, Decor
Ed.
Yeah, very much.
Online,
Okay,
yeah.
great. All of these things are really important to both sellers, but also to anybody who wants to know
Absolutely.
what the heck to do when they want to sell their property. And also, Brian, I'm really happy. First of all, I want to plug your book. I'm going to show the book here. This is a book that you've helped write. It's a real estate investor book, which I think gives you instant credibility to both my audience and anybody who obviously wants to buy and sell real estate. And also, what I want to talk about with you, Brian, is the FSBO Vault. And I'll just put this up here as well, so if the camera can zoom in a little bit and see it. Terrific. All right, lots to talk about. Whew, I'm exhausted. But tell us, I'm excited. What is FSBO Vault? Tell us a little bit about what that is and how you might be able to help a buyer or a seller.
Well, the great thing about FSBO Vault is it has been done before. This was done by the founders, Keith Eichley and Rachel Surgis, back in 2000. And at that time, he was in the greater Chicagoland, and he took over the 40% of the market share in just 18 months. This was back in the time when the internet was fairly new. He had over 1 million hits, which was unbelievable then. And he was able to help people sell their homes, and thus saving them the big commissions, and yet getting their homes sold in a much more rapid way and getting the highest and best offers.
How do you do that? I mean, everybody makes claims, but I know you have very specific things that you can offer. Tell us about it.
Well, there are ways to market your home. It all comes down to marketing. And that's where Keith and Rachel are the experts. They are the extreme marketers in this country, and they have a full system. It's about systems. Like Michael Gerber explained in the E-Myth Revisited, systems are the things that really work. And that's exactly what happens with FSBO Vault. You get a posting, a listing, and you're able to have a greater audience in which to have your home seen by.
Can you give
So
us
it's
a little
business.
taste what one or two of these might be? I know you don't want to give away something that you're selling, but please give us a little taste. Is
One
it
of the cool-
email marketing? Is it SEO? Is it all the buzzwords that we know about internet marketing?
The great thing is we have right now, which is wonderful, what is the thing that does the very best? When you go to search something, where do you go?
Google.
Google. So when something comes up top of the list on Google, is that a good thing?
Yes, it is.
Jeff?
Yes, it
well,
is.
that's what happens with FSBO Vault. Your home is going to come up on the top of Google, guaranteed.
Okay.
That
Now
is
that's
the
a
key.
big deal.
A huge deal. Huge.
So in a local market like Las Vegas,
Uh-huh.
you're selling a home. You go to a company like you, what do? You pick up the phone, you go to the internet, how does it work?
Well, basically, you find there are a number of representatives for FSBO Vault, but it's an online marketing service. We do not do actual real estate as far as licensed real estate, but we do have brokers that are associated with us that can offer their services to those for sale by owners that want to save thousands in commissions.
So let me just run this down.
Okay.
Using your marketing scheme, you're telling the seller that you don't have to pay a 5 or 6% commission. You can use this marketing scheme, maybe sell the property yourself, or use a realtor for just the contract, or use a realtor for just the closings. Is that right?
Exactly right. Jeff, you understand it exactly. There's a menu item of things that
I see.
you can choose to, if you want help from a professional that is willing to do that, they are able to help you a great deal.
So therefore, you're not really a threat to the industry.
Exactly not.
You're augmenting and helping sellers realize there's more than one way to sell a house.
Absolutely. In fact, it just spreads it out and gives more audience so you can sell your home more rapidly and get higher offers on your property.
I want to talk about staging.
Yes.
When you have a house, let's say I have an empty house because I just moved, but I want to sell the house. Coming in, preparing the house for sale, as someone who does staging, what would you recommend to a seller? I mean, what do you tell a seller when they're looking at their house and they're going, it's a big empty mess with a bunch of boxes all over the place. What do I do?
Number one, you have to make that home, you need to make it for a good first impression.
Of course.
So when somebody walks in, they can imagine themselves in there. So if there's a bunch of boxes, you better clean the boxes out of the way.
Right.
And make that home more presentable. You need to, if you've cleaned the house out, there's two different approaches. One is
Okay.
if the home is full, and the other approach is if the home is totally empty.
Right.
If it's totally empty, we need to bring a little something back in.
Okay.
Just so that that home they can imagine themselves there. Things like a table, even for someone to sit down.
Do you rent tables to bring in, or do
Absolutely.
you
You
use their
can-
tables?
You can, I will do either one, depends on what their table looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Don't use my table.
All depends. But we'll go in and do everything that we can to, try to help them.
Of course. Okay,
So
no,
that's-
tell me a little bit more about it. How do you
Curb appear
communicate with
is a
them?
huge thing too.
Yes, okay.
The way I communicate is, first of all, it depends. Like in each individual case is a little bit different, just
course.
because it depends on where they're at in their process.
Okay.
And so we find out what needs to go. I think people get very hooked on things that are important to them.
Of course.
And it could be their pictures, their family,
That's
their
why
art.
I asked, right,
And so I
right.
want to depersonalize it so that other people feel just right. And that's a really hard thing when it's yours and you know it looks good and you feel good around it, but it doesn't appeal to other people.
Now, staging
So-
is quite a bit different than, let's say you wanted to paint the house before you sold it, right? I mean, or do you get
That's
into
part
that?
of,
Okay.
absolutely. No, that's part of it too.
Okay.
Because you want maybe, as an interior designer, as a professional, I know exactly what colors that can kind of help people to, that will sell the home better. It
Right.
might be the latest trend. It makes the home look larger. You want to be sure and feature and highlight the pluses of the home.
Right,
And
I-
maybe downplay the things that aren't quite so desirable.
In your field, in what you do to present a house, it's really important, I think, to obviously, as you just said, accentuate the positive and try to minimize the negative.
Exactly.
Right? And you do that with colors, you do that with well-placed furnitures. Do you think, they always say, paint everything white. I mean, I've heard that 1,000 times over the 25, 30 years I've been in the business. Do you often see that that's the case? Or?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Do not paint your house white.
Okay, okay, good, because I don't like white as a basis for a color of a house.
Right. It's kind of, it can be a cold color. And
Right.
in order to play with white, you have to have the right home, the right colors, and et cetera. So right now, the real popular colors is that very warm toned gray, or else maybe even a little bit in the tans colors. So it's kind of the gresh color
I
is
see.
very popular, but it really works good. People respond to it. And it's amazing how much quicker, by just making simple changes, the homes will sell so much faster. And it's just a touch of paint.
Now, how have you worked your FSBO vault in with the staging process? It's kind of you're trying to work them together so that they get
Absolutely.
more value for the buck, right?
That's
How's
right.
that working?
Exactly how it's working is that anybody that goes into the FSBO vault and goes online into FSBO,
Vault.net.
gets into it, right, .net, what they can do is they will receive a free home staging course so that they can, since they're selling their home by owner, they can also stage their own home. So it's kind of helping real estate agents, or it's helping the homeowner so that they can get the biggest bang. So I have a whole online course.
Okay, we've got about 45, 50 seconds left. Just sum up a little bit about the positive nature of what you guys feel about real estate here in Las Vegas. Obviously, you love it here. You're really trying to help sellers maximize what they can get out of their home.
Well, obviously the market is getting very, very hot here in
Yeah.
Vegas. There's lots going on. Obviously, we have a new football team coming in.
Yep.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights did absolutely fantastic
Great. Yep.
last year. There's lots going on. A great demand for housing. So there's going to be lots of movement, lots of opportunity for people to sell and to buy and to obviously get their homes ready to sell and to be sold.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of competition in the home selling market. So
Right, there is.
you really need to make your home look fabulous in order to get the top dollar from it, and that's kind of, and be able to sell it yourself is it's a great
Save
plan.
thousands.
It's a great, and you do
great
save a
plan.
ton of dough. Thank you very much for
Yes.
coming on. I
Thank
really
you, Jeff.
appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. Appreciate you tuning in, and we'll be right back.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word of mouth advertising. And according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Ruthless Cowboys, keeping the American dream alive and creating jobs one t-shirt at a time. From fabric to design, Ruthless Cowboys makes 100% American-made apparel that hardworking Americans are proud to wear. At RuthlessCowboys.com, you can shop for shirts and accessories for the cowboy or cowgirl in your life. Head to RuthlessCowboys.com, check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching Ruthless Cowboys. Ruthless Cowboys, we're all about family, country, and keeping it all American. RuthlessCowboys.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We're on each and every week. Thanks for staying with us and tuning in. We do talk about real estate, buying and selling, lots of different opportunities here in the Valley. It is hot. It is July, almost August, and when you see this show, it's still going to be hot. What do you do in those circumstances? How do you solve problems of heat when you're trying to sell your property or out there walking around trying to buy a piece of property and it's 110 degrees and your realtor is not happy and you're not happy? Things you need to know in order to stay cool. All of these things are part of what we deal with each and every day here in Las Vegas. I love the Valley. I love what we offer here and what you can bring to it. Being either an individual who works here, who brings a business here. We have entrepreneur on the show today as well as a great realtor, Jeantil Chun. Jeantil, how are you?
Very good.
Thank you
for
very
having me.
much. and mortgage expert Charles Giscombe from Malibu Funding.
How you doing, Jeff?
I'm just great. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
so, talking about what we do bring to the value, you're a business owner, right? When it gets super hot, what do you do? I mean, obviously, it's ice cream, right?
Oh, yes. I have a
So
gelato
that's a
store.
perfect
Yeah.
solution for when it's hot, right?
Absolutely, perfect solution. So come on by the store. It's in Premium North Outlet, but I just started putting out some tables outside, which is very hot, obviously.
Right.
So just umbrellas. We're working on misters right now.
Oh, that's
so,
a good
yeah,
idea.
so just to have that, but we keep our doors closed, and it has been a challenge. Actually, we're having some issues with the AC a little bit. So keeping the gelato cool because of the heat.
Okay, city. Talk to me a little bit about some of the city programs for loans, Chuck, that go, or some of the down payment assistance programs, some of the different programs that are out there for loans. Very heated market, very competitive. How do we get more people into buying real estate that really can't afford it under a conventional program?
Well, before, it was very difficult, but now there are many programs, and obviously we're affiliated with many investors and companies that offer great down payment assistance programs, be it FHA or Fannie Mae, government loans. We can offer down payment assistance, and a lot of them they don't understand how that goes. Sometimes it's just it's a grant form, so you don't have to pay it back. At the end of the day, you can get a grant. They'll issue you 3.5% down. And before, I was only familiar with the FHA version of that, the Govy version of that, but now the Fannie Mae version of that too as well, providing you the 3% down.
There's Home Ready.
Home Ready. There's a program called Chenoa Fund. There's the Eagle Fund that we're now a part of, dealing with our correspondent with USF. So there's different home programs that you can utilize that will give you the down payment if you don't have it. And a lot of times people, some people are embarrassed by that situation, but don't be, because it's not just for people that are not making money that need down payment assistance. You never know what that situation might be. Their money might be tied up somewhere else. They might be doing some other things. At the end of the day, that down payment assistance program is offered to individuals who want to get into the home buying situation, but their job may not allow them to save a lot or stack a lot. So these programs are for everyone, and you can qualify. It's not very difficult to qualify. Just decent credit situation and someone willing and eager to want to get into their first home buying experience. We absolutely have those programs for.
Is there like a set of criteria? Because usually when a client comes to me, I say, okay, the lender's going to look at this, this, and this.
Correct. Yeah. We'll look at the standard things that we look at in regards to, obviously paycheck stubs, the financial history, the work history, the assets that you may have, credit score. We'll look at all those different things, and then we'll find out, obviously, from this standpoint, if this individual, obviously, if you have the amount of money and you seem to appear to make the money that you need to make, that program not be for you. But if there's an individual that's constantly working, has a great work history, just doesn't have that savings there, or doesn't have a relative to give to them, the down payment assistance program is definitely there for them.
Employment. You employ people at your work. You've employed people.
Absolutely.
Livable wage versus which is a buzzword for upping the minimum wage, right? I mean, in a lot of cities across America, $15 is now the base, and they're trying to bump it up. Is it government's responsibility to do that? Is it the private market's responsibility to do that? And then, conversely, how do we get more affordability into housing?
As a business owner and having to employ employees, unfortunately, depending on how good the business is going to go or how well we do as far as ourselves, sometimes we're not able to afford to pay an employee $15 to $20 an hour. So luckily, I guess most of my employees are all younger. They're 18, 19, 20.
So it's like a first job for a lot of
It's their first job, yeah. So we start about $10 an hour, and they're happy. I mean, they work 30, 40 hours a week with tips as well. But yeah, if my business was doing better, I would definitely pay more, but we have to do this, weigh and balance, and how much business are we getting, what sales, per day and stuff like that, and we're just barely surviving as well.
And you're a very moral person. I know you, having talked with you several times, about trying to do what's right versus what's just right for you.
Exactly.
And I think there's a lot of business owners here who would be out of business if they had to be bumped up to even $10 an hour, $15 an hour is really a stretch. That's $30,000 a year, and that's like a salaried employee in a lot of companies.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it's important. The reason why and I think it's the responsibility of both sectors, Jeff. And the reason why is, especially in a place like Las Vegas, at the end of the day, our market is booming. We were, those were the first, would be last. Those were last, would be first because of the crash. Now, look at, we're on that uprise. We have the least amount of supply and we have a tremendous amount of demand, right? So what happens is now you have these individuals that are trying to buy homes. You have to get paid more because now the home is going to be more expensive where it wasn't before, and you can get in with the lower income.
Right.
And now the houses are higher, so you have to get in. Not just the housing market, the rental market too. Things are going to change because obviously owners of homes, owners of apartments know these individuals can't qualify for that house. Those rents might go up as well too. So you have to make more money, especially in a thriving situation in a city or state that is gonna allow you to be able to at least qualify to get in. So it's important.
Well, that was one of the solutions that they had was, okay, if we have an affordability issue, you either have to lower the price of the product or raise the price of raise the income, right? And so the article's talking about the government solution is to make sure that wages rise, but their solution is to mandate it through higher minimum wage. I'm not sure that is because you don't want to cut out the entry-level market to kids coming out of high school who need a summer job, who need to work during either college, because at that end, you're now competing with people who want long-term full-time employment versus just part-time entry-level employment.
Correct.
So the problem is, how do you raise wages without government getting involved?
Right, but now comparable to the rest of the country, Nevada, I think, as far as cost of living, right, is still lower than most of the country. So now, are you speaking like collectively as a nation? Or
no, just here in Las Vegas.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, right here we have those issues that really affect us. Obviously, this is a national issue.
Right.
But in South Carolina, where we're in North Carolina as a company, Malibu Funding, who sponsors the show, Florida, and a couple other states where cost of living is cheap, and also the cost of housing is cheap. Here in Vegas, cost of housing is high, but the cost of living is not high.
Correct.
So, other than your air conditioning bill, if you own a home, I mean, how do you solve these solutions? I'm not sure, but it's something that people need to consider when they're buying and selling here, because that's part of the issue of, can I get the highest, best price for my house?
Right.
Or is it better to try to work with people in order to get them into the property that they can afford as a realtor?
But that's how I feel right now. As a realtor, what I'm seeing is that it's not going crazy. Not like before, not in the past. So, like I said, I think there's a certain level of collective, people working collectively together, basically, and not having to go out of control like before. So
And it's
I think it's still
circumstantial.
way more affordable.
Yeah, it's circumstantial. The
staying
curve,
affordable.
we're just on the curve right now as far as our market's concerned. So in Vegas, it's really important because, like you said, the cost of living is a lot lower than a lot of different places. So that will kind of balance the situation out. We just happen to be on that bubble with the real estate right now in that market. That it's really tough. That's a tough situation to be in because obviously you want to make more money, but the cost of living is lower in Vegas. You have to take that into consideration.
So we have elections coming up, which leads me into the elections. The choice of the candidates that you either choose on a national basis, whether it's a congressperson, a senator, whether it's on the state level, whether it's governor or lieutenant governor or state assembly or state senate. Right. We have a part-time legislature here. They're only in session 4 months of the year. So in order to get things to whereby we are producing answers, and the election's coming up and we're laying out these questions, the idea of participation in the system has actually gone down. How do we get people to vote in order to take a participatory effect as to what's happening in the real estate market, which is how you do this?
Well, how do I say this best? The things that have been going on, besides the economy being great, I think are going to be the reasons why people will vote. At the end of the day, there are certain things that are happening in this community and all around the country that are having people going, listen, if I want things to change, I have to get out and vote. It's important. And so it starts at the local level and works its way on up, Jeff. I think right now, it's just the temperament and the climate that we're in right now. It's not the best, Jeff. It's not the best, to say the least. From a business standpoint, obviously, like I said, it's working, but just from a climate standpoint, I think that's going to cause people to get out, to create some change. what's going on and the turmoil and the dissension is going to cause people to get out, and not just what I'm seeing.
If you want to make a difference, I think you should go out and vote.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
All right, I'm sorry to cut everybody short. We could go on for a little while. Thank you very much, both of you, for coming on the show once again. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, very well. And I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.